You're watching Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45.
And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are coming right up. First, here at 6 o'clock, meteorologist Monty Montello is here with the first check of your weather on the ones. Monty, I can't say enough good things about today. It felt so great.
Yeah, you rarely get to such great weather during the month of August, especially.
Students in Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools now have an extra layer of security as they head back to class. The district's 43 elementary schools are outfitted with sophisticated camera systems. Meg Smith has more on how this new program is keeping students even safer. I apologize for airing the wrong video there. In case we can't get back to it, let me mention this to you. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools also outfitted all of its new buses with this GPS tracking system, allowing schools to pinpoint exactly where each bus is on its route. Now, I believe we can get back to that story that Meg Smith was trying to bring us.
What about being a mouse?
It's Meg Smith, Time Warner Cable News.
Students at Montlou Academy of Technology were welcomed by High Point University cheerleaders and their pep band today. This fun marked the first day of the new school year, and school officials say they wanted to show students how much they're appreciated and get kids motivated to start learning. And while many elementary school students will be using pencils and papers to learn, Montlou students will have their hands on iPads. Principal Jed O'Donnell says this will be the fourth year students will be using this technology.
Through the donations from High Point University, the Bryan Foundation, the High Point Business Community, and the Bill Millis Fund, we were able to put iPads in the hands of every single one of our students. It's transformed not only the way students perceive school, but it's transformed the way that the teachers are teaching and the students are learning.
For more information about Montlou and the iPad program, you can head to our website, twcnews.com. Across the state, students are almost getting back into the swing of things. This year, Mooresville is partnering with Rosetta Stone to help pre-kindergarten through 6th graders learn Spanish. They say knowing another language could make all the difference after graduation.
We just believe that providing that second language for students is just going to give our students a foot up as they begin to compete in the world.
The district is also implementing what they're calling the Gateway Project, which is similar to Senior Exit. The goal is to help develop presentation and communication skills.
As the students work through these Gateway projects, the idea is that we'll push the Senior Project to be a little bit more comprehensive and a little bit, we'll challenge our seniors to do a little bit better or to raise the bar for their projects.
Grades 3, 6, 8, and 12 will be required to do that project. And today was the first day of school for the majority of students in Wake County. Heather Moore shows us how the state's largest school system welcomed back their students.
Full news.
Richland Creek Elementary is one of Wake County's 2 new schools opening this year, the other being the Vernon Malone College and Career Academy, which is the CTE High School. Wake County Public School System officials say today marked a very good first morning of school for its buses. The county says more than 900 buses took more than 75,000 students to school. That's a record for the district, which again is the largest in the state. Fewer than 1% of the buses were late for opening bell. The county says it will make adjustments as needed throughout the year. They'll be monitoring bus routes and schedules closely in the coming days. A group of high school freshmen, arguably the most talked about group in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools this year, the inaugural class at the Charlotte Engineering Early College, started coursework today at their new facility on UNCC's campus. Students are put on a fast track to complete their high school degree, then move on to earn up to 60 hours of transferable college credits, all with a focus on careers in engineering.
Charlotte's becoming an engineering hub, an energy hub, so we're going to need this school. We're going to need our kids to help this community out.
Recruitment for next year's class will begin later this fall. Each class will have roughly 100 students. The superintendent of Gaston County Public Schools toured several county schools today to welcome students for the new year. Today marks Jeffrey Booker's first day as superintendent. He says he's excited to kick off several new initiatives to educate the more than 30,000 students in Gaston County schools and prepare them for the future.
For us, we're wanting to see the whole child growth and look throughout our system to see how we're integrating the ability to be a good citizen as well as to learn and develop their intellectual abilities.
Among other programs, Gaston schools are expanding their science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM curriculum. The school system has also launched a mobile app to keep parents and students in the know. In one coastal county, the new school year comes with free food. Brunswick County Schools qualified for a federal reimbursement program, which allows them to offer all K through 8th grade students breakfast and lunch at no cost. School leaders say this ensures all students have the opportunity to receive 2 healthy meals, despite whether their parents or guardians can afford it.
A lot of times when children would come into lunch, people would think that because they were getting free lunch that, it would have a stigma attached to it. This completely removes that stigma, and children are all on a level playing field, and they're not hesitant.
Several other counties in our state are offering free meals in school. This is the first year the federal program was made available to all qualified public schools nationwide. Ahead here at 6 o'clock, President Obama plans to make a stop in Charlotte tomorrow. Hear why and what Queen City police are doing to prepare for his visit. And later.
Well, season
News on ABC 45.
And right now in Reidsville, people are sharing their views on hydraulic fracturing with the Mining and Energy Commission. Both supporters and opponents will have a chance to tell the board what they think about the future of fracking in North Carolina. The commission has held several meetings in the Capitol and other cities around the state. Tonight's meeting lasts until 9 p.m. We will have the latest from that meeting tonight here at 11. Hundreds of mourners filled a St. Louis church today for the funeral for 18-year-old Michael Brown. Brown died on August 9th in Ferguson, Missouri, after being shot by Officer Darren Wilson. He was unarmed at the time of the shooting. His death sparked days of violent protests in the St. Louis suburb, though tensions have calmed down for the last several days. The Reverend Al Sharpton delivered the eulogy at Brown's funeral and called the shooting death a seminal moment in the country.
We cannot have aggressive policing of low-level crimes and can't deal with the higher level. Something strange that you can get all these guns into the hood, but you run around chasing folks selling Lucy cigarettes and walking in the middle of the street. There's something crazy about that kind of policing.
The family's pastor called Brown the new face of the civil rights movement. White House officials, the family of Martin Luther King Jr., and the parents of Trayvon Martin all attended the funeral.
The question is not if there will be another incident like this, but when and where.
Back here in North Carolina, NC Central's Black Law Students Association protests the shooting death of Michael Brown. They hosted a Hands Up rally and wore all black in his memory. Professors, school, and civic leaders urged students to take action to prevent a similar incident from occurring in Durham or another community.
Talk to young people and old people about the dangers that they find themselves in and help them to develop strategies so that they are not victimized by what happened to Michael Brown in Ferguson.
North Carolina's NAACP President William Barber urged the crowd to end street violence. He's headed to Ferguson this week. He plans to work with people in that community. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are busy coordinating President Barack Obama's visit to the Queen City. President Obama will speak in uptown Charlotte during the American Legion National Convention. This will be the president's first visit to Charlotte since the 2012 Democratic National Convention. CMPD leaders said they're fully prepared with a plan in place, including the president's route to and from uptown. The president is scheduled to speak around noon tomorrow to thousands of veterans in the Queen City for the American Legion's annual National Convention. Despite the resources needed to handle President Obama's visit, Major Jeff Estes says every CMPD division will be fully staffed.
We're able to move officers around based on shifts and other things where it won't affect our operations at all. We're able to absorb special events like this. This is part of being a fairly large city here.
Major Estes said CMPD is not expecting or hasn't been notified of any major demonstrations for the president's visit, but he added that police will be ready to handle any protest should they emerge. Your sports is coming up next here at 6 o'clock. The Carolina Panthers QBs are in question. Mike has those details. And the pastor of one of the largest churches in Charlotte has been placed on leave. That's in our Carolina Minute. And still to come here at 6, a new record for the S&P 500. We'll have that update with our crew from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And after this quick break, meteorologist Monty Montello has your full forecast.
And temps in the low 90s. Back to you, Sharon.
Thank you, Monty. Now here's tonight's Carolina Minute. Protesters shared their feelings over the sale of the Hoffman Forest today. The Save Hoffman Forest Group demonstrated earlier this afternoon outside Highway 17 in Onslow County and at NC State in Raleigh. The group is afraid the forest would be leveled for cropland. A judge is set to hear the case in the next few weeks. The senior pastor of one of the Charlotte's largest churches is on paid administrative leave. John Monroe, who works for Calvary Church, was recently in the national spotlight when church member Nancy Wrightbull, who you saw there, was diagnosed with Ebola while serving in Liberia. Church leaders would not say why he was placed on leave. Archaeologists uncovered century-old artifacts found in the driveway of UNC System President Tom Ross. Last week, construction crews prepared to resurface his driveway, but they stumbled upon these artifacts that date back to the 19th century. Some of the items include pieces of old bottles and dishware from as far back as the 1800s. Well, news of a burger deal for the king is boosting stocks. Let's get the latest on the economy now from our team on Wall Street. That's about our time here at 6. Be sure to join us tonight at 11. An urgent call by a Greensboro ministry seems to be working. Why they made this call and how you can still help. ABC World News with Diane Sawyer is up next.